Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Cities Skylines 2. This is episode number 11. The power just went out for some reason. We lost connection. Hold on. Oh, 1 second, please. I've just loaded the game up for the first time in close to a week. So there had to have been some sort of update along the way regarding power and how it functions. We have some sort of bottleneck here. And that one's taken care of with a transfer station. That also, wow, it just moved the bottleneck right there. How? Okay. Maybe I need to give it a little time to kind of reassess. But clearly this whole side is struggling to get power as our power network is over here, which was part of the reason to bring it this way. I think we can absolutely kind of hook up onto the network once again, more this direction over here somewhere, to bring the power much closer and use a transfer station, into that area. So how do I get that over there? Well, that's now the question of the day. So we're gonna put in a transformer for this area. Alright, so now we've drawn power all the way over to a transfer station here, and that has cleared it up. That's cleared it right up. Okay, good to go on power. Back to the video introduction before my unpause and surprise moment. Something I've been waiting to do for 5 episodes at least already, meaning to do for each of them. I think last episode I introduced 2 big things that I was going to do and immediately went in and did the first one. Never got around to the second one. We're finally going to do it today. It's going to be the focal point of this episode. Looks like we have a backed up sewer situation that we're also going to have to deal with. Oh my! One more second, one more fix, and then we are going to begin laying out neighborhoods. First thing is we have our wastewater treatment center already. Purification rate resulting in more sewage being turned. That seems like that's the upgrade we need. Turn back into, purification rate goes up by 25%. Increased processing capacity for the facility. That's probably a good one to add in as well.
So a housing shortage is bad for the people trying to move here.
There we go. That now maximizes the facility, and it's going to do a whole lot more in terms of treatment, which is going to add water output as well. So that dropped at the moment, but it will come back up. Yeah, there you go. It's already starting to come back up. It's definitely not where we want it right now. There's the water availability going up with it. That'll be fine soon enough. We'll let that work itself out. So before we get into anything else, any more issues, I feel like I should be doing this on pause, but it's one of those games where it's like, wait, you don't want to pause more than is necessary. Well, let's just go ahead and start laying out these neighborhoods, huh? Let's start with the obvious one, the one that's got a long ways to go to grow up into what it'll become eventually, but is by nature Little Manhattan. So I have not applied any special rules to any of the districts yet, but I've got them mapped out. I've got them named so far. So let's go on a little tour of the new districts. So first off, we have Little Manhattan. Our old town has been renamed Geriatric Town. Our first industry area is Little Indy. The area above it to the north, which will be the center of town, and as anybody who is focused on themselves, it's the conceded area. Then we get out into the country with the master of country music, Garth Brooks, Brooksville. Across from him, the other rural area and suburb area, just because it's the most aptly named country title that I can come up with, Rascal Flats. The biggest region that covers our main industrial, along with the power plants, and future logging industries and other industrial, we're looking at waterworks. Of course, the area beyond it is downwind. The college town, the university area, is named after the same college town that I lived in when I was attending the University of Oregon. Our second industrial area, which is still dealing with a bit of a backed up sewer, so I have not quite resolved that issue just yet, but climate change, very aptly named, I would think. Next up is the Burbs. Hopefully not the Tom Hanks version. And then the last one, you'll get the name here in a second, but it's Sea Lion. And let me show you why it's Sea Lion. If you look at our island shape, there is the head of a sea lion. There is the front flippers of a sea lion. There is the rear flippers of a sea lion. And there is the tail of a sea lion. To me, it looks like a sea lion, and therefore, that's the name. Now the trick is not completely sabotaging myself by putting taxes through the roof or banning this, that, and everything else as I go through, but finding a balance to make each neighborhood a little bit unique in the specific rule set and what can come of it. You can see, household-wise, Manhattan, not that. It's a big work industry. It's a big office industry. It's going to be more focused. There's a lot of open positions at the moment. Demand is starting to climb as we've had things unpaused here. Heavily a adult sector, not as educated as they could or should be. But combustion engine bans, okay. Energy consumption awareness. Citizens are advised to pay attention to their use of electronic devices. Electricity consumption reduced by 5%. Gated community. Only people living or working within the district are allowed in. That can certainly have its place, but not here. Definitely not here. Heavy traffic ban. Trucks and other heavy vehicles are forbidden from entering the district. This reduces noise and air pollution and can help traffic congestion. Highways remain unaffected. Not a bad idea for a little Manhattan to have something of that. Heavy traffic ban. Recycling. Citizens in the area are encouraged to recycle. This will reduce the amount of used resources, but decreases free time. Roadside parking fee. Oh, we definitely want the roadside parking fee in this one. This is not the kind of neighborhood you want. So Little Manhattan's going to pick that up. I just got executive decision. Achievement for assigning something, finally. Speed bumps. No, we're not putting speed bumps in Little Manhattan. Are there more? Oh, we do have... Oh, it's... Okay, it's more drawn out. The roadside parking fee is not going to be cheap in this neighborhood. We'll make it $20. Okay, geriatric town, the old town. What do we want to do in here? Largely residential, largely low density, but does have a little bit of mixed housing, has one small farm in it. Is there anything we want to throw into this area? It's also got a big off-ramp, so you do something odd with it, you're going to have issues. Maybe the recycling, noise pollution coming down significantly, speed bumps. Could be a good thing to add in geriatric town. You know what? Let's put some speed bumps in. Okay, so for the larger conceded neighborhood, there is some farming, bus depot in here. We also have a lot of commercial and or mixed housing through this area. This is one of those areas where you could do something, maybe. What could we do? Roadside parking fee? And make it a low fee through this area? It is going to be a large center. There's a lot of roadside parking happening in this area with all the medium density that we have through there. Quite a bit of it. I'd put it in at a much lower cost for the roadside, but let's not mess with conceded just yet. Okay, so little indie. A little industry area. There isn't much of an industrial option, so we'll leave that as is. Now, out into the country, Brooksville. Farms, oil derricks, and very few rural houses. And really only the one road that comes into it. Recycling might be a good one. Encourage recycling through there. Okay, Rascal Flats. Largely a suburb with some farming. Okay, we're not going to mess with waterworks right now. Downwind. What can we do about noise and air pollution? Can help traffic congestion. We can do the heavy traffic ban through here. Okay, the burbs definitely getting the speed bumps, as will Sea Lion. Alright, I think that's a good start. And we finally have some neighborhoods. It's good to see that we have that in play. Well, looks like whatever I did with the waterworks has not yet resolved the sewage treatment. In fact, it's still lower than what it was before, which is odd, as we absolutely did something to increase what was there. Wastewater treatment facility. The efficiency's high, fully employed, but the purification rate is just not very good. Looks like we're going to need another wastewater treatment facility. We do have our industrial area. We could put it over here next to the incineration plant, I suppose, as there really isn't much space to increase what's going on there too much. It's only 480K up front. That instantly takes care of the issue in the region. To expand upon that here eventually, but no longer an issue. I did spend a little cash, but we're doing okay on the funds, 2.8 million. Now, before I get into handling our latest series of demands, we have picked up 19 map tiles, so we can absolutely expand into some new areas when we need, but we also have some progression points. We haven't pushed very far into Big City yet. Spent a lot of the time preparing the neighborhood so far today, but roads, I'm okay. We don't need a grand bridge or underground parking at the moment. Power is still a good thing for us, but I would love to get into some more renewable energy types, something like geothermal. I'm afraid to get into the hydroelectric, as I'm afraid of messing up the water level on our river if we dam the river up higher and suddenly the river dries out, or something along those lines, or if we flood an area or whatever. I don't want to deal with the natural disaster of changing the landscape significantly. Solar power plant, though, would be cool to have. That's 5 points to get into with the battery station. Advanced water pumping station for surface water, okay. Disease control and health research institute would all be handy, but we only just got into the hospital and it's barely getting used, so not yet. Industrial waste processing, that could be helpful. Handling toxic waste. Ground pollution produced by industrial buildings is lowered, but not air pollution, just ground. Okay, on the education side, I did unlock the medical university, which we have not gotten into yet, so we don't need to get into anything new yet when we still have that to get into. We don't have a big issue with crime or a big population, so we're okay there. Central Intelligence Bureau, it's expensive. Sole existence of this office lowers crime rate citywide. Certainly a handy thing to have, but probably fairly expensive. A central bank, though, looks like something that could impact money. So it houses stock and resource traders as well as financial advisors and loan officers whose combined work lowers loan interests, which we haven't taken any, but reduces the price of imported resources and increases export profits. Money making scheme. Boom. I have unlocked air, but we still haven't done anything with that. So also another thing that we need to get into. We just didn't have the funds at the time that we got into them. 4 points remain. Large sports parks could be handy, or the telecom tower. So at this point, we're still exporting 110 megawatts, which is a lot. Small coal power plant, gas power plant are available, but yeah, we don't need to get into that. The water issue is resolved. We don't have an outbound water connection though, so we still aren't exporting anything. It would be nice to get that taken care of, so we can start collecting funds regarding that at some stage as well. Average health is improving slowly but steadily. It's now 63%, up from the 60 we were at. We are just handling the crematorium needs, and the cemetery availability is good to go. Garbage processing is now processing very well, and the landfill is gone from filling quickly to no. Actually, the stored amount is not good, but we're processing at such a rate that it's gonna take care of it. So we're good there now. On the education research side of things, so elementary is fine, eligible and enrolled is almost maxed out. The high school, for whatever reason, is still not doing terribly well. It's like too far away for too many people or something. Hard to get to. I don't know why there's not more enrolled in high school. But the college, eligible versus capacity and what we have, it looks like we need a second college. We do need a second college if we're going to get that going. The university's doing all right. The capacity versus the eligible, not quite meeting all of the needs, but the university is still relatively new. Oh no. Our signature building is massively on fire. This is like national news level of disaster event. Put it out. He's gonna pull inside. He's gonna drive right inside the building. Oh my goodness.
The city has adopted
Not the smartest move any firefighter has ever made. There are deaths inside now, awaiting a hearse. The fire is out. They've saved the building.
Remember to turn off lights and computers when not in use.
That's good.
Good habits can make a big
People are showing up back to work already.
Oh,
Weird. Okay, entrance on the right-hand side, exit on left-hand side. Yeah, awaiting a hearse, but they have survived this one. Seven dead from that. We have the electricity bottleneck once again. Yet there's literally a transformer station right there. Like, how is that not meeting the needs? The electricity consumption is so high that it can't handle it. Oh, here we go again. Not enough electricity kicking in. More electricity bottlenecks literally right at the transformer stations. At each of the transformer station points, we have bottlenecks. That's confusing. How does that work? Don't ask me. We're already back to the 3.2 million that we had, though it's showing a negative balance at the moment. So we had gotten as far as education and realized that we are in need of a second college. The first college is way over there. So we would definitely want our second college to be out here somewhere. And that seems like... Wait. Isn't there another issue that we're having? Like, say, elementary schools? Okay, there is an elementary there. Let's see, are these both yes, that's an elementary. That's an elementary. There's just no elementary in this town. Right, shows up red. We can maybe squeeze something in that would completely take care of that neighborhood. That would take care of part of the neighborhood, but it's amazing that that one just does not meet needs outside of the specific neighborhood. Okay, can't go on the highway. How far does this thing get us? Not everything covered if you go that way. We do have our main route. That just about covers it all. Okay, so the burbs have an elementary school. This neighborhood is not well covered, but I'm going to kind of wait a little bit on that one. But it's time for another college. And that one definitely can go out into this area. Let's take it a little more towards the middle, slightly. Now, before I add anything to the new college, I'm going to actually help take care of the old college a little bit, which is still just the generic college. Okay, it does have the extension already built, but the college library is not yet built. And we're going to go ahead and throw that one in this time. Do we want that over on that side or this side? I don't know what... Let me see what City Hall has for extensions. Okay, City Court, minus 5% crime rate citywide. I like that. But I need to see what our crime rate is before I put that in. City planning offices. Minus 5% building leveling cost. So leveling as in like demolishing buildings. Okay, that's an internal one. That's an internal one. So they are both internal, the City Hall. You do not need additional space, but we do need that college library space. So we'll put it next to the City Hall here. I'm definitely finding it weird that this outer edge is just not getting sufficient power, especially when there's two incineration plants that are supposed to be feeding the power network, not draining on it. They should be contributing, not taking away, but they're less efficient because they're draining, because they're drawing a lot of power. It doesn't make much sense. The only transformer station that we have in this area at all is there, and it did help with some of the overload issues, but not all of the overload issues. It looks like we're going to need to get power run out there somehow, and the one area that you can kind of bridge through right now is here near the railroad tracks, but getting through there is going to be the trickier part. I think I see a path right through here. Connecting that power network up. Let's see if that's enough. That is enough. So it's now brought the network in together to that particular incineration plant and that transformer, and problem resolved. Our biggest issue here is not enough employees, a lack of labor, or high rent. And of course our air pollution, downwind neighborhood. A couple fires around, but you know, things are pretty okay. Low density demand is insane right now, so we've got to do something with that in the very near future. Okay, we handled education. We are now looking at average fire hazard is 29%. I can see this industrial area has a very high demand, and the nearest fire station is way over there, so I can see what the issue is. A full-blown fire station is crazy expensive, so let's just keep her small with a fire station into the area. Okay, that'll take care of this area. kind of an expense is air to get it. Only 750,000. Okay. Plus 5% attractiveness citywide, plus 3% office efficiency citywide. Now, I think a junction near two highways is probably the best place to bring an airport in to play, which means this area, which, oh boy. A big traffic accident there on the highway. We are close to a end of map connection now, which would give us the ability to have a water export set up so we can start making additional money that way by exporting the extra water that we have. Another thing that I'm going to do part of the time, not all the time, but I will turn that day-night cycle off from time to time to be able to see, especially a big project such as this one. Let's get into the highways. We'll connect up here at some point, but I'm going to need to set some ramps. I've decided to isolate the airport to the highway connections and not have any standard road connections with it. Even later on, I intend on having a very limited access to it to help with the traffic flow. I don't have any routes yet. We'll get to that in a minute. So to start making money from it, I don't want to leave this unpaused very long. But let's go ahead and look at how I've built the infrastructure, road infrastructure, surrounding the airport. First off, I have a 4-lane, one-way road that has one large roundabout and makes its way around the airport. Let's hope I'm kind of picking the right direction with this because it's hard to tell with the parking on that. But the on-ramp back to the freeway begins as a 2-lane off of that traffic circle. 1 lane is going to wrap around and connect onto this freeway, which gives you enough time to get off the freeway and go that way if you want, or to just about, we'll see how the traffic works with this one, if I've done it far enough away to hop over 2 lanes and continue on into the downtown area. Meanwhile, the other lane just heads westbound. As for the off-ramps, 3 directions that they come from. So as you're coming down this highway and you go to merge onto the other highway, here we have our ramp that then comes up and over and joins onto this 3-lane, which then becomes a 2-lane, which then enters the traffic circle and heads down towards where you need to go with the airport. Then, if you're coming from this direction, we have an off-ramp here that goes over and then under and then joins up. And then if you're coming from this direction, we have a extra ramp that comes off here and connects down. So we have a method to come from all 3 directions to get to the airport. And then we have 2 ramps that gives you the potential to go all 3 directions from there. We'll see if it effectively does all 3 directions, or if I need to adjust that. I've also run water and power from over here underneath to connect up, so we do have water and power for the airport. And then in the airport itself, I've already added the parking fee, placed it at 20, but we also have additional upgrades. A business lounge, plus 5 attractiveness to the city. Sounds like a wonderful addition, so we're going to add that in. And then we have a cargo terminal and airport services. The airport services add comfort, and while it does come with a upkeep cost, it's not severe, and comfort's going to make it attractive, so we want that. Last one is a cargo terminal. Anything that's going to help the move of goods in and out of the city is good, even though it's 500,000 and comes with an upkeep cost, but we're going to add it as well. And there you go. That is now a fully upgraded. Oh, that's the cargo. Okay, so we need a... Dang. We don't have anything. anything tracks wise in that direction at the moment. I mean, all we have is over here. Getting a rail line to go that way is going to involve probably diverting the line way back here and then coming around and up, and then unless we do it from way up here to do the same thing and run the rail line that way. Yikes. Now that's a major project that we're not going to get into for a little bit. I thought that was going to be about road cargo, but no, that's rail. Okay. We do have a garbage truck heading in here. That's something. But at the moment we have plus 10% to the attractiveness of the city. And tourism was kind of just kicking off. This is going to really help with that. But what I don't have is any lines right now. So passenger airline line tool and cargo airplane route tool. We could still hopefully bring cargo goods in. We just can't get it out via rail. It would have to go out via truck. We'll see, but let's start with the passenger. And I would assume this is just something, yeah, you just connect out. There you go, see? Okay, it looks like we have 5 terminals here, plus 2 cargo ones, and 1 to Colossal City. So that's 3 outbound passenger routes, and we already have a plane landing for the first time here at the airport. Guessing that's on our pink route. Makes sense as it was the first one lined up. Now, obviously, passenger traffic is not going to happen immediately. It's going to take a little bit to get it up and running and get people to start using it. We'll start with a cargo route just to Colossal City. Let's see if we get anything going before we bother doing any more with that. And we're only sitting on 1 million. That's going to be tricky for a little bit. I did unlock something new here. Oh, yeah, and we don't have any mail service in lots of areas. Okay, well, we're going to want to add mailboxes around. Alright, so I've picked up mail service across the city. There was a lot of recent expansions that just hadn't been picked up as of yet, but that's taken care of now. We have a post sorting facility, but its sorting speed is 0. That's not good. And another discovery is the lack of radium mass in the newer areas of town once again, so we've really kind of dropped the ball in a few areas, but we'll pick it up here. Now, with the recent projects, I've not kept up with demand at all, but we have made massive progress in certain areas. Restored a bit of funds to 1.35 million. We'll see if we're getting any air traffic just yet. It's very early in this process. 3 planes, 59 people a month so far. It's just starting to scratch the itch. And 1 tourist a month via train. So we are getting that for the first time. We were getting tourism just a little bit, spending a little bit of money in the city, but they weren't coming in through public transportation. They were coming in with their own personal vehicles, so that one's not showing up. The air cargo is not yet functioning. Not sure if it will under the current system. We'll have to keep an eye on that one and if it takes off and whether I need to add in that other route. Otherwise, it's just costing me money. But speaking of money, we're starting to make it pretty fast, pretty efficiently, and we just took care of some services that were not being taken care of in these newer areas and are now handled. So there's a lot of good things happening. We're getting a lot of air traffic now. We're definitely growing. We're definitely expanding. We've got neighborhoods named. We've got a new airport and those services taken care of. I'm happy with the progress we're making, and likewise, we've now topped 40,000 despite not having any new areas to take care of the demands for commercial, the demands for residential here recently. we'll work on that next time. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.